Hey guys, it's Ryan coming to you on behalf of the Steel City Duelists. Today we're going to be talking about a deck profile for one of my favorite decks, and that is the Ogdoadic Reptiles. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and get into it here. The Ogdoadic package starts with 3 of each of Nunu and Noya. Definitely the most important card. You want to see them in your hand. You can dump one and then dump the other to the grave, vice versa. Or if you have both of them, even better, you can dump one of the other guys to the grave, because this deck is pretty much based on summoning out of the grave, if you don't already know that. So on top of the 3 of each of those, you have 1 Zoha, 1 Dark, 1 Light, 1 Ogdoadic, your boss monster there, and then I play 1 Queen. I don't really like King. He's useful against some decks, but most decks, Queen's just the better option there. So just play those, not too bad. If you're not familiar with the deck, you definitely want to go first most of the time. Because whenever you tribute to summon Light and Dark, it has some interactions with your opponent where I believe it's Light lets them summon a monster from the grave to their side of the field, and Dark lets them add one from the grave back to the hand. So yeah, if you're going second, that can be rough. That's why it's just better to go first. But for the rest of the package, some of the spell cards with it: 3 Snake Rain and 3 Water Lilies. Snake Rain, best card in the deck. You get that, you're not gonna have any problems, that's for sure. Dumps, discard 1 card, send 4 reptile monsters from your deck to the graveyard. The ultimate starter for this deck. You want all your monsters in the grave, and that's the perfect way to do it. So there's that. Let's see, then there's a lot of different packages you can throw in with this deck. My favorite one is Alistair package. I just play 1 Invocation and 2 Magical Meltdowns. 2 Invocations is definitely nice. I've run into a couple different times where having a second one would be good, but 1 is usually good enough. It's not like a huge part of the deck, it's just more of an extender. If you get an Alistair on top of everything, that's great. You can end with the Macabre on the board as well, so that's always nice, for sure. And then the other package I have thrown in with this deck that I'm playing is the Dark package, which is 1 Chaos Creator, 1 Levianeer, 1 black, and 1 white, and then 2 Chaos Bases. Again, just pretty much all extenders. They're nice when you get them. You don't necessarily need them, but definitely a nice thing to see, especially if you get all your reptiles played out of the way and you're looking for some more things to do. Last but not least, you got to play that Dragoon package. It's a pretty tough card to get around, so might as well throw it in there. It's only 3 cards. And then we got some of the tech cards that I play: 3 Ash, 3 Dark Ruler No More, 2 Impermanences. Dark Ruler No More is pretty key in this deck. The boss monster can, where's he at? Ogdoadic. Whenever he is played once per instance, you can just send all monsters on the field that aren't special summoned from the grave to the grave. Non-targeting, doesn't destroy. It's a very nice card. So Dark Ruler No More is a great way to get around any hard things that are like, gonna have a negate or anything like that. Definitely major key. And then obviously Ash is pretty much the best hand trap in the game, and Impermanence is not far behind that. Can't go wrong if you get those in your hand. Moving on to the extra deck. Oh, sorry, I also play Monster Reborn. It's always nice to get a free Ogdoadic out there if you have the chance to. Extra deck, so a lot of Xyz monsters in here. King of the Feral Imps. I sometimes play 2 of them. It really depends. but he's pretty nice whenever you don't have the best starting hand. You don't get that snake rain or something like that. He's nice to get another monster to your hand to get some more into the grave. Rika Queen Strenna, she's pretty good to bring out the Sacred Tree Beast for another negate there. We got Begzuka, however you pronounce his name. Sorry, I'm not great with that. He's useful just to kind of keep yourself defended a little bit sometimes. It does come up where you need him. Dingirsu, free Send to the Grave, gets rid of some of those hard to get to cards. You don't have a ton of back row removal in here, so sometimes I bring that out to get rid of some pesky, traps or spells that I need to get rid of, or if I'm scared of something. I do play the OTK combo, which is Brugluvion, Hope Harbinger, and Numeron Dragon. Yeah, it's a good way to win games. No complaints there. It's very easy to get out 2 level 8s in this deck with Light and Dark. So, yeah, if you got to do it, you got to do it. And like I said, it's a real easy way to win a lot of the times when people aren't expecting it. So, nice to have. Then we got Purgatrio, got Makaba for those Alistair games. The only way to really get Purgatrio out is you're playing against somebody who has fire monsters, or obviously if somebody ashes. Other than that, your move is Makaba. I won a couple games with Purgatrio. I wouldn't not have him in the extra deck, but it doesn't come up too often. So yeah, obviously you got your Dragoon. And then Summon Great and Access Code Talker. Now you'll notice there's a couple empty spots in this side deck that I have, and that's because it really kind of depends on the mood that I'm in and what I want to do. Access Code is, you got to have him in this deck. He comes up quite often where you can get 4 monsters out and then just pop the board, pop off, and most of the time end the game. Some other options that you do have are Second King of the Feral Imps. It's nice to have 2, but definitely don't necessarily need it. One of the newer cards for the reptile archetype, the Cosmic Slicer. He is pretty good situationally. The only thing is that you really need to play like an alien, a couple alien cards. I usually play Stealth Buster whenever I use him. Another one of the newer cards, but it's definitely one of the better alien cards. And when I do play with those, I do keep Pollutant Virus in the deck as well. It's pretty nice whenever you do get the combo off. Doesn't happen too often because I'm not playing a full alien, archetype within there. But any monster that comes out, let's see. Control A counters, change the defense position. Yeah, so if they have the A counters, they get changed the defense position. With Pollutant Virus, they yeah, every monster they summon gets an A counter on it, so like you can't really do much whenever you get that combo off. Stealth Buster does give you a free A token on one of their monsters as well. And I'm kind of forgetting the combo because it's been a while since I played with this deck, but it is a nice little nifty couple cards there that will help you win some games. The other package, that's pretty much it for the deck profile, but I did want to also mention / show you guys that the Layer of Darkness package works really, really well in this deck as well. I've only tried playing with it a couple times, and I've never really gotten the hang of what all you need to do in order to be successful with it, so I usually don't play with it. But yeah, the Layer of Darkness package does mix in quite well. I've seen quite a few different profiles with it in there, and also I've seen different people play with it. But if you do play the Layer of Darkness, you're going to want to run at least 2 Super Polys, and then I always throw Starving Venom Fusion, as well as the Predaplant, however you pronounce that second part of his name there. because everything is dark on the field with Layer of Darkness, and yeah, it's very easy to super poly opponent's targets with everything being dark. Works out really well. So there is that. And then the other thing I forgot to mention is in the extra deck, obviously you're playing Dragoon, you're going to want to play Predaplant. I forgot to throw him in here, and I didn't dig through my decks to see what deck he was in, but that would be another card, obviously, with your Link monsters that would need to go in there, playing the Dragoon package. There's obviously plenty of cards you can use that, you know, if you don't have the Dragoon package, you don't like playing with Dragoon, because I know there's plenty of people that are like that. Plenty of other cards you can sub in and be successful with this deck. It's definitely not a tier 1 deck, but it's my favorite rogue deck, and I've definitely had some success against some of the top tier decks. Most people don't know how to play against it, so that can be to your advantage, obviously. But yeah, so that's about it, all I got for today, and don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.